All right. I wanted to rest, but I was reading through this article. I actually was watching a video that was going over this article, and before I even finished the video, I was like, "Come on, man. Somebody who wrote up this article is it just seems like they wanted to convince everybody that this game you have to play friendly. You have to play friendly. It's the best way. It's the sweaty way, which is kind of what he said at the end. Spoiler, but like, it's not likely. It's not. We're not going to fall into a utopia where 100% of people will do this, right? Where 100% of people will work together and never fight each other. But you also have a bunch of people who don't like playing in this way, right? Like, everybody that's playing this game likes to play the game differently. There are people that like to be rats and have fun ratting people and blowing up the button that you use to call the extract, right? Which is crazy because it's never happened to me, but I was watching a video of somebody doing it and I was like, how did you not see all of the mines on the button? How did you not see that? I mean, I guess I would be like, oh, you wouldn't be looking for it, so you were just running for it, and then you just ran up to it and you blew up. And you were just like, what the hell, right? And then you have the people who, you know, just wanna play and just loot, and they don't like PvP because they're not good at it, right? And then you have people who do like PvP who are from other extraction shooters, and that's how they play other extraction shooters, is they kill people to get their stuff, right? And then you have the people that are in the middle, like me, who are trying to pick and choose who they kill and who they don't kill, and you know, sometimes it's the death of them, right? Like, so let's get into this post. So it says, I understand that everyone has their own opinions about PvP in this game, but this is speaking strictly from a games theory perspective and nothing else. Ark isn't a zero-sum game like Tarkov, where killing someone actually increases your expected value. Yes it does. I don't know why do you think that this is not true? Every single time I have killed anyone in this game, I have come out with more stuff than I would have come out with if I were to run around the map risking being killed by some other person, right? Like, if you run around the map, the longer you stay on the map and the more land, the more land you cover, right? The more you run around on the map and the more you loot, the more of a chance that you're gonna have to be killed by somebody else. Whether you're playing, you know, solos or whatever. Even if you're playing solos and you are running around and you're not really like interacting with people who are friendly, like you're just not interacting with people at all, there's more of a chance that you're going to be killed, even if you're playing in solos where everybody is mostly friendly. You don't know what's going on the rest of the map. You don't know if there's a 1 or 2 people running around the map killing everybody. You can infer that if you see, you know, flares going up in the air and stuff like that, but you can't really know what's happening on the map everywhere until, you know, it's time for you to leave and maybe you get extract camped. You don't know. But when you kill somebody, you definitely get a bunch of stuff, because what everybody is doing is running around looking for stuff that they need, right? They're looking for stuff that they need, stuff that's important to them, or stuff that they thought that was worth, you know, a nice chunk of change, depending on, you know, all the stuff that they're picking up. And the longer they stay in the map, the more they loot, the more that they're going to figure out, like, okay, well, I want to take this, I want to take this, I want to drop this and pick this other thing up. Oh, I found a gun here, I found an extra gun off of this other dead guy over here. I got a purple gun out of this locked door or whatever, right? Like, they've gotten a whole bunch of stuff, and they've run around the map and collected all these things. So if I load into the map halfway through the map and I go, I'm gonna attack that guy right there. I attack that guy and he's been on the map for the entire game. He's gonna have a bunch of stuff and I'm gonna take it. And if I don't need it, I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna make money. And I'm gonna use my money to maybe buy a couple of things that I need, right? Ark is a positive sum loot economy. There's more than enough gear on the map for every team to leave rich without ever shooting another player. Sure, but how are you going to divvy up all of the loot on the map through all of the players that are on the map? Do you expect everyone to get together? Do you expect everyone to loot the entire map, then get together in the center of the map, throw all your loot down in the center and go, okay, what are we giving everybody here, right? That doesn't work that way. It never works that way. Everybody, just because there's enough gear for everybody or enough loot for everybody, doesn't mean that some people are going to get certain stuff that's better than other people, and some people will never find the good loot on the map. But if somebody finds, let's say for instance, somebody goes toward a door, or they go toward a high loot or a high value loot area, right? They spend all their time in the high value loot area, looting that area. They go to a door and they loot the locked door, right? And then somebody else comes into the map and or they make their way over to the area where that person is or those people are, and they start killing the people in the high loot area that have been there looting that area. They're going to get a bunch of stuff that's high value loot from the people that are in that area looting. They don't have to go around looking for it. They're gonna get it from those people who've been looting that area. And if they weren't over there looting that area, then there's no guarantee that they're going to go get something that's really good. There's no guarantee that they're gonna get purple guns. Everybody's not gonna get purple guns on the map. That goes into the map. Everybody's not getting purple guns. Everybody's not getting a legendary out of the deal. Everybody's not getting all of the things that they need to level up their stuff from the map. Everybody's not getting that. There will be people that leave with that stuff. And then what happens when somebody leaves early? What happens when they say somebody finds 2 purple weapons and they take a bunch of other rare stuff and they leave, they extract? That stuff is gone now. It's not gonna respawn. It's gone now. The people that have gotten into the locked doors and looted the locked areas, that stuff's gone now if they extract. But if you catch them before they extract, then you can get that stuff. It's never going to be a situation where everybody's going to leave evenly with things. It's never going to nobody's ever going to min-max their way into, oh, everybody's going to get together and be super sweaty and get together and dump their loot in a pile and then divvy up all the stuff before they leave and extract. It's never going to be that. Would that be ideal? Sure. Would it be kind of, it would be cool, but it would be kind of boring at the same time, right? Like if literally everybody in every solos map, they just agreed, oh, we'll never fight each other. We'll all just go scour the entire map and then we'll come back to this location, dump all of our loot in this location and make sure everybody gets super strong gear and super strong things. And then we'll go take out and we'll go all jump the queen. And then, well, what happens when you jump the queen and kill the queen? Does everybody get legendary gear stuff? Does everybody get to leave with legendary gear stuff, or does one person loot it, or does somebody shoot somebody else to take what they were looting before they run away? How does that work? How does that work? Because everybody's loot is not separate. When you go fight a bastion, there isn't each person's instance of their, like, there isn't an instance of items for each player on the map where everybody can come and pick stuff up and all the people can get the bastion cells. And you know what I'm saying? Like That doesn't work that way. Somebody kills the Bastion and they pick up all the Bastion cells from the Bastion, and if they divvy them out and there's 3 or 4 of them on the Bastion, would you give you're gonna give them out to 3 other players, 2 to 3 other players, and you're gonna leave with 1 when you need 6 of them? I don't think that there's enough. There's not enough loot for everybody on the map to get everything or be equal. It's not. Everybody's not leaving with an equal amount of loot. We're not even that far into this. PvP is almost always a negative EV move. You risk losing all your loot. You burn ammo and meds. That's dumb. You waste precious time. Also dumb. And players rarely carrying anything you actually need. That's also not true. Almost every time, I'm pretty sure almost every time I've ever killed a player, which is not many times, but anytime I almost kill a player, or excuse me, anytime I've killed a player or find a dead body, there's always something there that I need or can use, whether it's at the time, because there's been times where I would go into the map with literally no items on my character. No items, no backpack augment, no shield, no guns, no items, nothing, right? And I would find, if I found a dead body with gear on it or loot on it, jackpot. Jackpot. Because everything on that body can be used. Now, would I take everything on the body? Probably not. I would take the guns, I would take the meds, you know, the shields, you know, I would take the stuff that because I had nothing on my character. Even if I went into a map and I was geared up, and I was able to defeat other players or find other players that were downed, there was something there that I could use, whether it was metal parts or metal parts for ammo, or, you know, arc alloy that can turn into metal parts for ammo most of the time, or any other little like base parts that I would like to hoard, taking their guns and turning them into simple gun parts, or if they had simple gun parts on them, or if they had anything else on them that you need to build and craft other things. What do you mean they rarely have anything you need? If people are killing you, there's 2 reasons. They either want to get stuff faster, or they're just griefing you. When you attack somebody, you are risking losing all your loot. But it depends on what you brought in there and what you're willing to lose. You go into a raid with the stuff that you have, you're risking your loot just by taking it into the raid, whether you lose it to a player or lose it to Arc. It's not just the PvP that you risk losing your stuff. You risk losing it once you load into the raid, period. Even if no one else ever attacks you, if you load into a raid and get killed by a Rocketeer, you have lost your loot. You risked it already. You burn ammo and meds. That's the point of bringing ammo and meds. The point is to bring ammo to shoot things and bring meds to heal once you've won the fight, or in the middle of the fight when you need to heal and you have some time and they're not pushing you. If you brought ammo and meds with the intention of fighting players, you're not burning ammo and meds for no reason. You're using the ammo and meds exactly for what you came in there to use it for: attacking players. You waste precious time. What do you mean you waste precious time? It's 30 minutes. What time is being wasted? If I came in there with the intention of looking for players to farm or loot, kill and take their stuff, I'm not wasting time. My time being wasted as a PvP person that's looking to attack other people, the time being wasted is when I'm being attacked by wasps and hornets, and I gotta And I have to burn ammo and meds fighting hornets and wasps because I didn't come in here for them. I came in here for players. It's perspective. It's whatever your goal was when you came into the game, when you loaded into the raid. Whatever you came in there to do, whatever is stopping you from whatever you came in there to do is what is wasting time and burning ammo and meds on the thing that you don't want. So if I came in there to fight people and I keep having to kill wasps and hornets and the stuff that's getting in my way while I'm looking for other players, that's the stuff that's wasting my time and burning my ammo. Bro, what is this? This is just a attempt at convincing people that attacking other players is, you should never do it. There's no good thing to do. If somebody is really good at PvP, you risking losing all your loot is not something that you're worried about. You came in there with loot that you're ready to lose, but you came in there geared to a point where you probably will win the fight if you get the first shot. Even if you have a Pharaoh and a Stitcher, you can still win the fight because most people are not wearing heavy shields. If I go into Stellamontis and I want to kill people, I'm gonna put on a heavy shield. Why heavy? Because Stellamontis is one of the places where I really don't need to run around. It's enclosed space, right? I don't ever feel like I need to be sprinting around. And when you have a heavy shield on, you run slow. You use up a lot of stamina on other maps where you're running out in open fields and you want to run across the field and you're putting your gun away to sprint across a field. You're running slow and you're burning a lot more stamina. But in Stellamontis, in a small enclosed area, and where I want to like PvP people, I'm gonna take a heavy shield, and chances are a lot of other people are not wearing heavy shields. So I'm probably gonna win off that, as long as I hit my shots, and as long as I get the first shot. Even if I don't get the first shot, I still might win the fight because of having a heavy shield, and the heavy shield mitigating like almost 10% more damage than the medium and light shields. When you start a fight, you force other teams to defect. One gunshot triggers the whole lobby. Third parties collapse. Sometimes. This happens a lot in Apex. Maybe it happens more in other people's lobbies, other places, but even when I'm playing with other players, when I'm playing with my friends and we go in as a trio and we're fighting people, I can't really remember a time that I got third party. I can't really remember a time that we got third party. We're usually getting third party by arc. Or if I'm getting attacked by arc, I'm getting third party by a player. I usually don't get third party by another player or other teams. Despite what you may think about the PvP players, all of the PvP players are not solely focused on killing people. Usually, people are moving around the map trying to loot things or get to the high loot areas and looting the high loot areas. And then if they run into people, they are PvPing them. In some cases, you will get people who are like, we're gonna beeline it for the first fight we hear, because maybe they just loaded into the map. If they just loaded into the map, there's a reason for them to beeline it to a fight and try to fight the people and third party them to take their stuff. Because if you just made it into the map and you have nothing and you're just there with the guns and the ammo and the meds that you brought in, you third party a team after they win or beat another team and you take them out, now you've got 2 teams worth of loot to dig through while you keeping your head on a swivel for other teams. But chances are you might not get third party again, right? Everyone starts playing Paranoid. I don't know about that. I don't see why would you be playing Paranoid? Like if you hear gunshots, there's one of 3 things is going to happen. People are going to people that don't want to fight are either going to try to avoid that area. They're just going to look and see where the flare went up, or they're going to hear the direction that the gunshots went up, are coming from, and they're going to avoid that area because they have too much loot and they want to get out, right? Or they're going to move toward it to third party, or they're just going to continue doing whatever they were doing in the sense of, like, you know, my friends and the team, you know, the team that I play with, we tend not to, the gunshots don't really affect us. We either go to it or we just continue doing whatever we were doing. Like, we might be looting in a certain area, we might be looking for certain things, and we just go. If we run into people, we fight them. That's usually how it goes. A chain reaction of aggression wipes out multiple teams. Okay. A chain reaction of aggression might call in Arc, and the Arc might help wipe out some of those teams, right? What you end up with is one final squad alive among 6 to 8 eliminated teams, and the last team can't even carry the loot that's on the ground. So I'm pretty sure all the teams can't carry out all the loot that's in the map either. I'm pretty sure they didn't make sure that, oh, let's put in exactly enough loot that if every team had all looting level 3s, they could carry every single piece of loot out in the game or in the map. I'm sure that's not the case, because you still have to make decisions on what you want to take and what you want to leave. So when you kill another team, like, there's loot is going to get left, but when you kill another team, the stuff that gets left is usually the less valuable stuff versus what you think is valuable and what is, like, actually valuable in money. And usually they're guns and stuff. If they have better guns than you, you'll probably take those and continue to, like, keep your guns, but depending on what you have. But if you came in with, so let's say for instance you came in with a free loadout and you've got a Rattler, and then you found a Stitcher. Let's just say that you got those 2 guns. You came in a free loadout, found a Stitcher. So you got a level 1 Stitcher and a level 1 Rattler, and you managed to kill another team or loot another team, and you take their stuff. They have blue weapons, and they have like a Venominator, and they have a patina, right? They have a purple weapon and a blue weapon. You could just throw your guns on the ground. You don't need to keep those for anything. Throw those on the ground, take the 2 guns, put those in your 2 slots. Go through all the rest of their stuff. Do you need their shield? Nah. You could probably either recycle it, or you could recycle the guns for the parts or whatever. Maybe not for you know, simple gun parts, because you don't get simple gun parts for level 1 gray weapons. You only get, like, metal and something else, but you won't get all of that unless you take it back to, you know, Speranza. You might get metal parts or something like that. But dude, like, everybody can't carry out all the loot anyway. So some loot is always going to get left regardless. but it's who is going to leave with the best loot in an extraction shooter. Who's leaving with the best loot? Or are you always just going to be friendly and allow the other players to always leave with the best stuff, and you only get to leave with good stuff sometimes? The more people that you put down, the more high tier loot you'll find yourself with. I wholeheartedly believe this, because like, if everybody is running around on a map and you're managed to kill 2 teams and everybody is like looting a whole bunch of stuff, or you're in solos and you manage to kill 2 to 3 people, those people who, it's funny because the people who are not good at PvP, they make sure that they're really good at looting and going on very specific like routes to get really good loot. They know where all the good loot is. So the people who are the easiest target usually have the best loot, which is crazy. So the people who don't want to worry about, oh, what are the best loot routes, I'm just gonna kill the people that have the best loot routes. I don't know that for sure until I look at their, most of the time when I kill somebody and I look at their body, there's something purple on them. There's like at least 2-3 purple things on them, whether it be a gun and 2 purple items and then a bunch of like blue stuff. It's there's so much, like, people are so good at looting. They're so good at looting. 3 players physically cannot hold all the value created by 8 dead teams. That's not the last team standing's problem. But I bet you the last team standing is leaving with the best loot. And if they didn't do that, then one of those other 6 to 8 teams would have left with the loot, and you never will ever see them ever again. You won't even know who they are. You can't ask them, can you have the thing that they took out? You don't know what they took out. You don't know who they are. You'll never see them again. But if you kill all 6 to 8 other teams and you dig through all of their loot, you're leaving with the best stuff that you can leave with. From a pure economic analysis, PvP shrinks the total pie for the entire lobby, but not for the last people standing. For the last people standing, if there was a one team that killed every other team in the lobby, they made their economic PvP part of the pie. They get the whole pie. They get to choose what parts of the pie they want. They don't have to just pick from very small portions of the pie. They get to pick from the whole pie because they killed everybody. They shrunk it for everybody else, but they enlarged it for them. If you don't kill anybody, you get a tiny little sliver of a piece of the pie. So everybody leaves with a different little sliver of the pie. Everybody else's piece of pie is not my problem. That's what they want you. That's what they want you. Like, that's what the PvP or the PvE players want you to do. They want you to worry about everybody else. The friendly play, that's the whole friendly thing. It's like, I want to look out for everybody else. They expect everybody in the game to look out for everybody else. And while that's nice, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. There are going to be people that realize that PvP is the best way to get the most loot the fastest. You can come into a raid, see somebody that was in the raid the whole time. You won't know until you beat them. Take them down, loot their body. You get a purple gun because maybe you got the first shot off with a Pharaoh, and then you stitcher them down. They had a purple weapon. They had a Venator. They had ammo for those guns that they never got a chance to use. They had some blue heals. They had some Vita shots. They had a bunch of other stuff that they collected in the map that's worth money, right? They had all this stuff. And now you have all that stuff and you're like, oh, all right, I need this, but I don't need this other thing. I don't need all this other stuff, but I'll take all this other stuff and either break it down into resources for me to create, craft other things, or just sell it and build up my financial gain. Inventory slots make this even worse because inventory is so limited. The time value of PvP is near zero. That's if you've already been looting. If you already have been running around the map looting a ton and you have a lot of good stuff, it might not be it might not be in your best interest to go fight people. Because if you have a lot of good stuff, let's say you got blueprints, you got a couple of good guns, you got some other rare stuff, some purple things. You just have one safe pocket. You can't fit all the stuff that you want in the safe pocket, right? So you're like, oh, I need to get out of here. Maybe you stop by one of the control rooms and grab some supplies to make a hatch key, and you get out with the hatch key. It is not in your best interest if you already have a full bag of stuff that is worth a lot of money and maybe a couple of things that you need. It's not worth it to PvP. But if you have nothing in your bag and you just have your weapons, your ammo, and your heals, and you beat somebody, you now have the stuff that they took forever to go around. Whose time was wasted? Their time was wasted because you just saved a whole bunch of time by not having to run around the map, and now you just grab all their stuff and then you go to the nearest extract point, you extract, you sell, break down, keep whatever, sort out what you got, and then go right back in. You just saved a whole bunch of time. Every minute spent fighting is a minute not spent gathering high value environmental loot that you can actually take with you. If you beat the person, you take all their stuff. What are you talking about? If you do believe that you can get out, if you do believe that you can win the fight and you can get out, why wouldn't you do that? You're saving so much time by taking somebody down and taking all the stuff that they took all the time to collect. I can actually take a whole bunch of their stuff with me and go to the extract if I beat them as soon as I got there. Or I was running around looking for stuff, I ran into somebody, boom, took their stuff, and they were in the area where I was looking. If they're in the area where I was looking for stuff that I need, they probably have the stuff that I need because they were looting the same area. So if I beat them, I get the stuff that they had that I probably need. And if I don't need it, then I can sell it, make a bunch of money. So what's the rational strategy? Don't shoot first. This is I've learned over the past couple of days, just playing the game, this is not good. This is not good because in a perfect world where literally 100% of people would not shoot you, and there was a 0 chance that you would get shot first, where nobody takes the first shot, sure, it would be a boring ass game. But that's not the world that we live in. We don't live in a don't shoot first world in the Rust Belt. We don't live in a don't shoot first world. There are people that still shoot first. And if you don't shoot first and you had a whole bunch of stuff on you, you had good loot, you had good weapons on you, you had all of this stuff on you. If you don't shoot first, then you're just giving away your loot. Because eventually you're going to run into somebody who will shoot first and take all of your stuff, and you will have wasted your time. don't shoot at all unless someone forces it. The forcing it means that you just got shot. That means that your shield is gone now, or at least halfway gone. This means that if someone forces it, that means that you are at a disadvantage now. Somebody forcing it means that whoever forced it put that person at their opposition at a disadvantage. So because you didn't shoot first and somebody came around the corner and you were like friendly and they shot you, you're now at a disadvantage. You have probably no shield and you're basically bleeding and you're trying to get away from them. They're sliding around the corner, hitting you with a stitcher, killing you, and taking all the stuff that you spent all that time collecting, wasting your time because you didn't shoot first. The more stuff you have on you, the more of a reason you have to shoot first. Because if you don't, you might not be leaving with that stuff. And I know it's a low chance in solos that it happens. But if you don't shoot first, you have a high chance of not leaving with the stuff that you have on you. If you ignore me and I ignore you, we both maximize our loot. No, we don't. No, you don't. You maximize your loot by killing the other person that you just ran past. Because now your loot plus their loot, even though you can't carry all of it, you can dig through their stuff and you can swap out things that they have that are more valuable than the stuff that you have. Drop the stuff that's less valuable that you don't need to carry or that you might not need. Maybe break some stuff down that you don't need to keep and be able to carry some more of it out if you were gonna drop it. Load up your loot, your bag with the stuff that is worth loading into your bag from theirs. And now you've maximized your loot. He didn't. But both of you can't maximize your loot when PvP exists. When you ignore each other, both of you can't maximize your loot. You're playing it safe with the loot that you have, but you're not maximizing your loot. Maximizing your loot would be killing every character or every person that you run into. You risk losing it because if you lose the fight, you lose your stuff. But you can't maximize your loot without risking some of your loot. The same way you can't I guess you could, because I do it. I go in with absolutely nothing and come out with stuff. But like, and I come out with a net positive. Like even if I go into a match with nothing in a safe pocket, I can only come out positive. Which is crazy. That's the way people should be playing if they really want to go in and not be worried about losing anything. Go in with absolutely nothing and just don't die to the arc, because in solos people aren't going to attack you anyway, and people might just give you stuff. You're like, yo, I ain't got no guns. I literally walk around and say that. It saved me so many times. I don't walk around and say don't shoot, don't shoot. I'll go in with nothing and then be like, and then somebody will see me and it'll be like, don't shoot, and I'll be like, I can't, I ain't got no guns. Literally, I walked into a building, dude popped up from behind a table, started shooting me, and I was like, I don't have any guns, I don't have any guns, right? And I was just walking around in a circle like, I don't have any guns. And then he stopped shooting me. He was like, why don't you have any guns? He was like, because usually nobody fights anyway, so what's the point of me bringing guns in when I'm just gonna not want to shoot people because they're just gonna be like, oh, don't shoot me, please, when they're gonna just beg for their lives. It's like, I figured maybe I'll just come in with nothing and then try to leave with stuff, which I have done successfully many times. Left with full bags, left with guns. Most of the time I leave with a gun, whether it be like an anvil or a stitcher or something. I leave with something. It's crazy. Avoid wipe risk. You go in, when you enter the map, you risk wiping. At this point, it just sounds like cheating. it just sounds like cheating. It's just like, oh, I don't want to run into any conflict. I want to be able to finish the game that has PvP in it without running into any conflict at all. You risk wiping when you go into the map. You still have to deal with arc. There's still a chance that you wipe. It comes down when you're in solos because everybody is just not attacking anybody, and you just have to avoid the arc. But like, avoiding wipe risk, sure, when you guys ignore each other and you just walk past each other. Avoid triggering lobby-wide defection. Why does the rest of the lobby matter to me? Why does the rest of the lobby matter? I don't care about the rest of the lobby. I care about getting me and mines out. Now, if I ran into somebody and we're hanging and we're running together in solos or whatever, now I just care about getting me and the other player that I'm with out. Or if I see Arc attacking somebody, I might help them out. You know what I'm saying? When we're trying to get out of the extract or whatever, if we're all fighting the Arc that are right there to help, you know, get everybody that's around the extract into the extract and get back home, sure. It's mitigating risk because everybody's helping fight the Arc at that point. But like, it's picking your battles. You pick your battles. You pick what you want to pick, the risks you want to take, because some risks are not worth it. Some risks are worth it. Coming into the map with a free loadout, and as soon as you come into the map, you see a person, and you want to risk trying to kill that person. You don't lose anything. You lose nothing by attacking them. You came in with a free loadout. You haven't even done anything yet. If you manage to beat that person, you now will have all the stuff that they had while they were looting the map and their guns or whatever they have. If you manage to beat them with a free loadout, you deserve it, especially if they had a fully kitted loadout. Is it much lower of a chance that you're going to beat them? Yeah. But if you manage to do it, that risk was a low risk with a high reward. And now you could either take that person's stuff and hightail it out, or continue to go around the map and look for what you came to look for, or look for more fights and fight more people and try to get more stuff that way. Because I guarantee you're going to run into more high tier loot on people, especially if you go to places that have high tier loot and find people there, because they've already been looting the area. So they're going to have the high tier loot on them. Extract with more total value. Also false. How are you extracting with more value because you ignored the other guy? You either, when you ignore the other guy, y'all extract with, I guess that would be net neutral value, because you didn't fight, so you didn't maximize the amount of loot that you could have went out with. You didn't maximize your value by beating the guy and taking the stuff and going and coming out with way more. I just unlocked an achievement yesterday on Steam because I ran into there were 3 dead bodies at the extract. I don't know what happened. There were 3 dead bodies at the extract on the last thing that I did last night. And I looted all 3 of those bodies. One of them was on the tracks, like on the plat, like 2 of them were on the platform, and one of them was in the middle of the tracks because they died on the train. so I could see his body behind the thing. So when I got on the train, his body was laying there on the floor. So I looted him and then I left. I'm like, what the hell happened there? It was one dude with a ton of like fruit and vegetables in his bag. Like that's all he was looking for, fruit and vegetable stuff. Produce in his bag, right? Then there was another guy who had a I forgot the name of the gun. But it was a level 4 purple weapon with a level with a pink, with 2 pink attachments and a blue attachment on it. What happened that these people all died? My thinking is that there was a surveyor that rolled down into the hole on Buried City, where you have to jump down into the hole to get to the extract, and it killed all of them down there, and they weren't able to defeat it before it killed them all. That's what I think happened. I'm not sure, but that it was crazy because there were surveyor pieces down there. So I got an achievement for looting those 3 bodies while I had been there the whole time. I literally was there at the last possible second because I was trying to kill the bombardier, but I was failing because somebody tried to kill me while I was shooting the bombardier. I killed that guy, looted his body. Then I survived, went and darted past the bombardier, jumped down in a hole, saw the 3 thing, called the extract, looted the 2 bodies. Extract comes, looted the body that was on the train, then extracted, and I got, it was over $50,000 worth of stuff that I extracted with. I could have done more, but it was literally the end of the match, like the very last seconds of the match, where it closed the door automatically. You don't get that much stuff without killing people. Like technically, I didn't kill a bunch of people. It was four bodies that I looted. I looted 4 bodies, not a bunch of places around the map. I looted 4 bodies and got 50K worth of stuff. If you count those other 3 bodies on the thing as players that, you know, died, right? Well, what am I saying? It's players that died by someone or something, that their loot was left there and the pie shrank for them, but it got huge for me. It got huge for me. But the difference between me and some other PvP players, maybe there's a lot of other PvP players like this out there too, but I'm not gonna try to kill everybody, right? Because I'm not that damn good, right? But if I kill one player, loot his body, and I got a lot of stuff, I might be on my way to get out now because I filled up my bag, because I had stuff, he had stuff, I mixed our stuff together. I want to get out. Run into another person, I'll still fight that person, but I'm gonna probably take the first shot more often than not because I got a bunch of stuff with me. I can't afford to not take the first shot, because if I don't take the first shot, what if he want to take the first shot? What if he shoots me first? Now I gotta win the fight at a deficit. It would be nice if I could guarantee that guy was gonna leave me alone, which in most cases he might. But who knows if he's gonna be like, oh, I'm friendly? Who knows, right? Like that's the part of this game that people want to ignore, is the deception. Somebody can be like friendly. That's, people do that. Somebody can be like friendly, and then I run off, and then they shoot me in my back, right? There's always that chance. And the fact that everybody is so friendly in this game, it's more devastating when it actually happens. The same way that if it was more PvP going on, it's stronger of a interaction when you have an interaction with a friendly player. But because there's so many friendly players, it's way more devastating when somebody deceives you and says they're friendly and shoots you in the back. because you weren't expecting it. You don't expect it to happen because it's rare. The thing that's the most rare hits the hardest. This creates a natural Nash equilibrium where the dominant strategy is peace, not aggression. No. The easy strategy for PvE players is peace. The easier strategy, the best strategy for people that are not good at PvP is peace. The best strategy for people that are really good at PvP is aggression. It depends on who you are, what the best strategy is. If you're not good at winning fights, then this might be true. All this might be true for you. But if you're really good at PvP and you're really good at putting people down, then most of the targets in the game are going to be the PvE players who are not good at PvP. And it's people that constantly are saying that, oh, I love the friendly environment and I'm just really not that good at PvP. So, you know, when I run into somebody like that, you know, I usually lose. Those people are easy targets and they have usually the most loot because that's what they're mainly focused on. And they don't even worry about PvP because they're not worried about it. They're just worried about, oh, they're friendly person. Hi, friendly person. And in most cases, they will be left alone. And if they you know join up, the dominant strategy for PvE, to be honest, is getting together with the other friendly players in the lobby and just being together, because if there's strength in numbers. If you are with a bunch of other people, PvP players are less likely to try to kill you because they don't want to be shot by everyone else. But that person might be good. If that person is good enough, he might be able to take all y'all out. And now he has the pick of all of your loot, all of this stuff that y'all have been walking around. And don't let a PvP player hear y'all talking about stuff that y'all found. Oh yeah, I just found this anvil blueprint. Oh, I just found this Tempest blueprint. Oh, really? Should have never told me that, buddy. Should have never told me that. They might have it shoved up their butt, but if they don't, maybe they have some other stuff. Because chances are, if they found a blueprint, they probably found something else. And if they don't have a looting MK2 or 3, then they don't have multiple, you know, safe pockets. They might not be able to shove it up their butt. You know what I'm saying? So in Arc Raiders, peace isn't the friendly play, it's the sweaty optimal min-max play. At first I didn't understand what this meant, but it's like peace isn't the friendly play, it's the sweaty optimal min-max play. No, the sweaty optimal min-max play is to act like you're friendly and then shoot the guy that you said you were friendly to. That is the optimal sweaty min-max play. To kill people at the extract and to lie to people and deceive them because it lowers their guard, gives you the first shot advantage, and you walk away with the best loot. You walk away with the most value that you could without even having to move around the map and look for it, without having to rush to the places that have the highest value loot, without having to rush to the locked doors, because you know that the people are already there taking the stuff out of those places. So you might want to go there, wait for them to take the stuff from those places, then kill them and take it from them. So you leave with the best loot. This is somebody who is scared of playing PvP, that in my eyes. This is somebody who only intends to play a PvE style game. That's when you, if you're not good at PvP and you can't win fights, avoiding PvP is optimal. But also avoiding people is probably more optimal than that, because you don't know who you can trust. You're not going optimal enough. Optimal for a PvE player is to hide and not make yourself known. And when you talk to other people and you're friendly to other people, you're taking a risk. Except that risk in this game is so low because everybody is so friendly in solos. You're still taking a risk when you make yourself known that you're around. A lot of the times when people are screaming "don't shoot" or they're saying friendly, I don't even see them first half the time. I don't even see them first. They'll be behind me and I'm like running by and they're just like, "Don't shoot." And I'm just turning around like, I wouldn't even have known you were there. And sometimes it makes me want to just shoot them so to teach them a lesson. They'd be like, "Yo, stop pressing the button when you don't, like you press don't shoot when somebody saw you and you dip behind cover and then you hit don't shoot," right? That's the best time to do it. Not when somebody doesn't even see you. And you also gotta remember, when you're having conversations with people in the buildings or whatever, when you're having conversations with people, your prox chat is not just going to that one other person standing next to you. It has a big radius. So other people that might want to kill you and take your stuff can hear you, and they go, "Oh, it's people over there. They having a conversation. Oh, it's 2 to 3. It's 3 people in this building. They're all talking to each other. I can hear 3 people in this building." And then one goes, "All right, I'll see you guys later." And then you hear the zip line, and he pops out, and you. Now the other 2 people upstairs are like, "Oh snap! He killed him. He died. I'm glad I didn't go down the zip line." Now they're upstairs scared. Now, if that's what you mean by defect, they're upstairs scared. They're like, "Oh crap!" But now they got to stick together because they don't want to get taken down by whoever just killed the guy that just went down the zip line. I don't think this person doesn't play extraction shooters. They can't play extraction shooters. Saying that this is saying that this is opposite of what Tarkov is doesn't really make any sense to me. It's only that way because there's a ton of people that are friendly. It's just the friendly people are making themselves an easy target to get their stuff taken. They need to learn how to fight. That's what they need to learn how to do. I could go on forever on this topic, but since I've reached the bottom of here, it is what it is. I guess I could just, this is a good reference. "Greetings, Professor Falcon. Hello. A strange game. The only winning move is not to play." I guess this person doesn't play this game. In solo, most people have realized that there's rarely a real reason to kill someone. False. Aside from the thrill of PvP. But since I don't want to ruin the enjoyment of chill players, I usually only hunt those who play kill on sight, and I leave the rest alone or help them out. That's cool. That's what I was doing, right? But if you're hunting people who play kill on sight, how can you know if they're kill on sight or not? Aside from the yellow outfit with the shiesty on. If it's not them, How do you know? This is why I wanted there to be a type of like a good evil system, or something where there's security, where there's a security force, or you can if you do good things, good tasks or whatever, it pushes you to the side of being a security officer. And if you do evil things or mean things, or you shoot first all the time, it turns you into pushes you toward the outlaw side of things, right? Where there's just, and there's something on your character that will show that you are either an outlaw or security officer side of things. And I think that would help, because now you know who you can shoot for. You know who the people are that are scumming people out, right? Now you kind of lose the part of scumming people out unless you're an outlaw, because then, you know, outlaws can still team up together, because they can be like, oh, yo, let's go take down all the security officers. But then, you know, the outlaws might stab the other outlaws in the back. You know, who knows? But they get to have that. They get to have that. The outlaws will get to do what they want to do in backstabbing, deception, kill on sight, all that kind of stuff. They get to do that, and they get rewarded for it, while the security officers protect the innocent and take out outlaws, and you know, go, you know, just do stuff like that, and then they get rewarded for that. Now you don't pick one of these things and get to just be that the whole time. It depends on what you're doing. So if you're a security officer and you kill a neutral innocent person, or you kill another security officer, you instantly become an outlaw until you do enough things, which now it makes it harder for you to do those things for other people, because they don't trust you because you're an outlaw. But like, say if you're an outlaw and you wanted to go back to being a security officer, you got to start reviving people. You got to start healing others, and pushing your paragon back to the side of being a security officer. You got to keep doing that. But once you do something bad, like shooting first, like shooting a neutral innocent or shooting a security officer, something like that, like you do something bad, it pushes you to being an outlaw immediately. Something like that, because I feel like that would push forward with what's already going on, with what people are already doing, without changing how changing how the game operates. You just now get an incentive for being bad and an incentive for being good. And if you're somebody who doesn't want to engage in PvP at all, you get the protection of the security officers when you're a neutral player. You could see a security officer and you'll be like, oh, it's a security officer. Or if a neutral person is chasing, or excuse me, if an outlaw is chasing a neutral person or something like that, right? They're chasing somebody, and then the person running from them, the security officer sees it or hears it going on and goes to save them and fights the outlaw and tries to beat the outlaw and save the person who was getting shot at, and healing them and then defibbing them back up or whatever, you know, and helping them, and they get rewarded for that. I think that would be like a cops and robbers type of vibe. Would be so cool. But like I said, I can go on forever. But that's all I gotta say for now. All right. Do subscribe if you like, you know, hearing me yap about this type of stuff. Like the video if you liked it, and just keep it tuned for more stuff like this. If you want to see me stream, I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 p.m. Pacific time usually. Sometimes I'm late, sometimes I don't do it because I'll be doing stuff like this. Like right now it's 9:45 and I'm not streaming. So but definitely follow me on Twitch. If you have a TikTok, follow me on TikTok, and I stream both places simultaneously. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.